Howdy. Radio check. Cybertech, Collie, Steven, Phil, how are y'all doing today? Yeah. Night stream. Wasn't originally going to stream, but figured why the hell not. I need more drink. Steven, I've got the Coke, but I am missing the Jacks. JPP, what's up? Hope you all had a good weekend. You guys do anything exciting? You guys have any fun? JPP, you type hey y'all, and I hear it in your voice. Printing your equalizer for Saturday? I don't know, sir. You might have an advantage on me. I don't have an auto flywheeler. The plan is to build a Riot. But we got to get some funds first, which is going to be well after 3D Printopia. I might have a surprise yet unreleased blaster. It's up for pre-order now. Files got released on Saturday in the Falcons. We'll go take a look at that for y'all that are curious. So link to Bears Wares if you want to take a look at it yourself. That's his site. Good dude. Let's take a look. Monitor. Falcons by Shoeless Historian. This is an all metal body here, and then printed parts and printed internals, but the outside is metal. You're getting like 300 FPS out of that thing. That'll be fun. We'll be doing a video building that. What we're going to do from now on, I'm sure all of you guys are aware. Yeah, here's the deal, Steven. You've got 6 or 7, but you've got 6 or 7 really nice ones, right? I've got the Crush. I've got the Goblin, which is, I don't know. It's a single shot silly shell blaster. And then I've got the 231Ks for pistols. I've got the Breacher, and I've got that X-Shot, which like full auto thing. Full auto thing. My one daughter will probably be using. The rest of them, they're not like in that league. I really want to build a slab. It is on my list of ones that I want to build. But like I was saying, in light of the incident yesterday with Jeremy and Keela, hopefully they get that resolved. They got to get like a live person to speak to get that resolved, unfortunately. The automated system's just going to keep saying no. I don't think the automated system ever says yes. But what we're going to do is we're going to live stream builds on Discord. I'll record it through OBS and then upload that live stream into YouTube. Now, the thing that'll be fun about that, and what I'm thinking I might do, is make it a group conversation thing so other people can join in and chat live in the Discord. So the video that gets uploaded to YouTube will have you guys talking with me, but will only have my camera when it gets uploaded. But in the Discord, you guys will all be able to see each other. You'll be able to see me and all that stuff. So I think it could actually be really fun. Because I like chatting with you guys, and like we were talking the other day about when I did the stream last weekend, where people could jump on and chat and talk about their builds and stuff like that. That's stuff we can integrate into it. What do you guys think? Yay? Nay? Does that sound interesting? I mean, if you don't want to chat, you can still watch. You can be there, listen, type in the side chat, all that good stuff. But the option will be there if you want to come in and chat and everything like that. Luke, how's it going? Martin, welcome. Brad. So I think it'll be a unique way to do it that nobody else is doing. Whether anybody goes back and watches the videos on YouTube, I have no idea. But we'll have fun, and I'll have fun, which is really what matters when it comes down to it with me doing this stuff. If I'm not having fun doing it, then what's the point doing it? You know what I mean? Anyway, so I have been beating my head against the wall on this Micron. I have been working on it ever since we finished up that stream. The only progress I have made is I have a hot end installed. Let me tell you about the drama of this situation. So I get the new thermistor. Fetus has changed the thermistor from being a little thing, and now it's got a metal shield wrapped around it that's much bigger than it was before, so it didn't fit in the freaking hole for these special heater blocks they sent. So I had to ream that out sideways. That is true, Jerry. Yeah, that is true as well. That is an option. And if you don't check it out, I was I was not home. Otherwise, I would have hopped on your stream on Saturday. But Saturday, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, Jerry has an awesome maker stream. I try to, it's one of the ones that I make a point to watch if at all possible. Even if I'm working and busy and can't really hop on the stream, that's one that I try to make sure I make every week. I used to actually stream at 3 p.m. on Saturdays and changed it because I like Jerry's stream so much. I used to actually get people, Jeremy and Keela used to, you know, raid into my stream after theirs was done. So it really helped my numbers a bit there and gave me some exposure. But I like Jerry's stream too much. I'm going to tell you why I like it, Jerry. So for a long time, the only thing I ever used my printers for was building more printers. And through your stream, through going to Murph this year, and the involvement that I had with another community that I was I was part of a community and a leader in a community where we were helping people that were new into the hobby. The hobby shifted into most people coming in had bamboos and stuff, and they were having issues with bamboo labs and stuff like that. And how much I could actually be of assistance was falling off. So I kind of took a step back from my role in that. But I really like seeing all the stuff that these guys print, right? Because they're all into all different kinds of stuff, and they're not building printers. They have no interest in the stuff that I was doing. But it's made me, like, I got into the 3D printed foam blasters through, like, just venturing out and trying to use my printers for other things. I really, really want to get a bamboo A1. I find myself printing PLA a lot more in the last couple months. I don't have a dedicated PLA printer other than CR10. I also find myself really wanting a printer that I can reliably count on for very long, high number of transition filament changes and stuff. And I can't count on the box turtle for that. If I got a lot of filament swaps, I use the Enraged Rabbit carrot feeder. Because I can count on that for running, 300, 400, 500 swaps without an issue. The box turtle, I can't. Yeah, Steven, I appreciate you, brother, man. That is going to make a world of difference over here. The CR10 does what it does, and I'm really grateful to have it right now. But good Lord, does it require a lot of constant, like every couple prints and trying to level the bed. It's got a glass bed, so anything that's a very long print at all warps off the damn thing. So I'll be super excited to get something like that. I'll be really excited to get the other switch wire going and the Ender 3 NG. I'm really torn as to whether or not I should put panels on the NG, and I'm kind of debating leaving the switch wire without the Enraged Rabbit carrot feeder and putting the Enraged Rabbit carrot feeder on the NG. Because I could mount that on the back, leave the panels off, and have that be a PLA filament changer. That was my thought. I had that thought earlier today, just looking around the place. Yeah, Marchana. So Steven has been infinitely helpful to this channel for like a year and a half now, because every single project I use, he's provided the hot end for a year and a half ago. Zoom in 2. So the issues that I'm having with the box turtle, okay. So I do not know if this is a box turtle issue or what is going on, but ever since we did the swap to the Pi 5, I will start a print. Sometimes it prints fine. Other times, it will, partway through the print, come, cut, retract, and eject the filament, and then go right back to trying to print with no filament loaded. On a single color print, there was no, I've checked the G-code, there's no call for a filament change or anything like that. There's no, in the logs, there's nothing about like sensor, run out sensor or anything like that that got tripped. Nothing. Other times, it will be in the middle of a print and then just run the print and G-code. It will come, it will eject the filament, it will cool down everything, go back to where it's supposed to at the end of a print. It will run the print and macro, the entire thing. Shut off all the lights, shut off all the fans, everything. But it never finished the print. Then you can run the same file again and it prints fine. So what I have taken to doing is, instead of printing by layer, I print by object. Because I lost over a quarter of a roll of filament, and not a cheap filament either. Like a $30 roll of filament. They're not too expensive either, but not a $15 roll of crap filament the other day, because it got to 95% of the way through the print and then decided, oh no, you know what, I'm done, and ran the print and macro, and it was done. In the middle of the night, I get up in the morning and everything's cooled off, everything's detached from the bed. Nothing was finished. Yeah, so Jerry, the issue is I'm using Frank's Frank AF goo, which is basically Vision Miner nanopolymer adhesive. But some filaments are real temperamental. This Anycubic gray, and I have found that any yellow filament is just hell. I don't know what it is, but they just want to warp off the bed. Most of the reshell blasters were printed over there without a problem, but certain filaments just give it hell. Black, gray, yellow. Yeah, it's just certain colors. What issues were you having with the Pi 5, Zumantu? Steven, are you talking to... Oh, yeah. So, I don't know if you missed the last stream where I ranted on about what the actual issue is that's causing the issues with disconnects, timer too close errors, and all that stuff. But if you did, you should go back and watch that. MMU clone, you're talking about the Prusa one? I hear people have pretty decent luck with the new one, the MMU 3. I hear they got some of their stuff figured out. Down Under Maker, when are we getting Big Tree Text Vivid? Are we ever getting Big Tree Text Vivid? At this point, it's been like a year since I teased it. Oh, sorry, I was reading chat. Anyway, let's go over here. Let's grab these parts off this printer. And let me tell you about the struggle that has been this V0. Not this V0, this Micron. So a little while ago, I went back and re-downloaded the new AntHead GitHub repo because I needed the cutter. Well, in the time between when I had printed all my stuff and the time that I re-downloaded the repo and saved it over top of my old one, they changed the Rapido mount. So now the Rapido is mounted down lower, which meant that the cowl that I reprinted was the wrong size. It needed to be the longer one, because the Rapido Ultra High Flow used to still take the standard flow cowl, which meant that I also needed to reprint the ducts. Well, I reprinted it, and I printed it using the orbiter spacing between here and here. Not the orbiter spacing. Well, the wristwatch BMG actually uses the Sherpa spacing, so I had to reprint it yet again. But this had cracked, and I acetone welded it back together with the orbiter one. So when I did, some acetone clearly leaked down into where the LED was and fused all that together. Also, like I was saying, I had to drill out to be able to fit that thermistor into that Rapido without drilling and going over into the filament path, widening it, and try not to come all the way out the side. I didn't go into the filament path, but I did come out the side on most of it. Wiki Central, how's it going? Clown Hammer, welcome to the stream. LTX Designs, I think I missed you earlier. Sorry, guys. Now, okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and repeat this from the last stream. I'm gonna shorten it as much as possible. Long story short, if you are plugging in more than two things to the Pi, your screen, if you're plugging that into the with the ribbon cable, counts as one. If you're plugging in a camera with the ribbon cable, that counts as one. Everything else, get yourself a powered USB 3 hub, plug it into the USB 3 port, one of them. Both of them share one USB controller. Both USB 2s share one USB controller. There's only two USB controllers. I did not anneal them, did you, Luke? I'll get back to that in 1 second. Then a 5-volt, 25-watt power supply, the Voron standard power 5-volt power supply, provides 5 amps of 5-volt power, which is what you need to run the Pi. So you cannot pull 5 volts for your powered USB hub from that. You need to get another power supply, or use the little wall wart they give you with that, or do like I did, go out and get yourself a 100-watt 5-volt power supply. That's going to give you 18 amps of 5-volt power. That's going to be enough for your LEDs, for your powered USB hub, and your Raspberry Pi. Plug everything into a USB hub. The USB controller on the USB 3 side can handle it. The problem comes that when you plug in more USB stuff into that, the Pi has no way of saying, hey, I need this power for my CPU and GPU. And what happens is the voltage drops, the CPU cycles, you start losing CPU cycles. The internal clock gets out of whack, and that causes your timer to close errors. And it also causes your MCU disconnect errors because the Pi isn't keeping up anymore. So you have to power all your USB stuff separate from your Pi. You can't use your Pi to power any of your USB stuff. Yeah, you powering it from GPIO pins is fine. Even if you plug in the USB power into USB on the Pi, you still cannot power all that stuff. The Pi cannot handle putting out as much power as it has USB ports for. It can't. So, go out, get yourself a powered USB hub. It's got to get its power separate. Get yourself a 100-watt power supply. Give your 5 volts to your USB hub from your separate power supply or your bigger power supply, and plug everything into that. If you need more than 4 USB ports, fine. Go get 2 powered USB hubs. But the only USB device plugged into your Pi should be a powered USB hub. Unless you've got just one MCU controller. And the problem is now, before it was a MCU controller and maybe a CAN bridge. Now we're doing USB tool head boards, we're doing USB cameras, we're doing multiple cameras, we're doing screens, we're doing 3, 4, 5 controllers. It cannot do it. That's fine, you can disagree with me. I talked to Raspberry Pi about it. It's not a question of, I mean, it's just fact. Luke, no, I did not anneal the PPS-CF parts for the gantry. So, annealing PPS-CF makes it harder and stiffer. but it makes it more brittle. The strength that it has without being annealed is way more than I was going to get from any other material that I could reasonably 3D print, and way more than ABS or ASA. But I did not want to make them brittle because at some point it's going to crash into something, and I didn't want them to break. You've got a trade-off. The harder you make something and stiffer you make it, the more brittle it becomes. Zamantu, I've got two different ones I use. One is one from Amazon, and I don't know that they sell it anymore. It has 4 ports on it, but it's got switches for each one where you can shut them off. And then the other one is just the ONN one from Walmart. It's like $12. And it's 2.1 amps, I think. What tremors did you print it at? Huh? What temps? Oh, so I printed it at 350C, sorry, 350C. But I've since changed my cooling and temps. I've dropped my temps down to 320, and I've added a little bit of cooling. And I like the surface finish that I'm getting better off of that. Seven-port USB. What is it? Go to site. Stop it. I'm trying to click on your link down under, Maker. Yeah, that's definitely a nice USB hub. 3 amps or 15 watts power. The other option too, was an Optimus P1 Pro and Blue Storm Terror toolhead. Luke, if I make you a mod, can you post some links to that? I would like to see that. All right, you have permissions now. You're a mod now. If I recall, Pi 4, the total USB available shared on all ports is only like 1.2 amps. Yeah. So I always get confused because the box turtle, right? The box turtle is the only thing with LEDs other than my daylight sticks in the Trident. So I looked over, there was no lights on, and I freaked for a minute. I thought something was wrong with it. I need to get that whatchamacallit from chamois going in that. But right now, any project that involves taking a printer offline is on hold until every other project that does not involve taking a printer offline is done. Okay. Oh, good Lord. One meter by 0.6 meter, 600 by 600 by 1,000. That is giant. You know what this almost reminds me of? An unenclosed version of Luke's Big Things. An unenclosed version of the stable bot. Ball screws. Oh, there's a fully enclosed version of it. Giga tool head. Okay, what is this? LGX Pro. Tube hot end. I like this. This is way better than that giant thing that everybody was putting the tube with two giant freaking things take up half of your build volume and using fans that aren't going to do anything. I love this. This is great. Who is this for? It's originally for the Orange Storm Giga. Yeah, the other one is Calamity. The one that I'm talking about is Calamity. I like this way better than Calamity. I would like it even better if we took the 5015s off and just put 4010 blowers on the side. But it looks like that should be a pretty easy, straightforward thing to do if you wanted to. Put 4010s on it and curtain cooling. Just as God intended. Woo! Makes your venture look like a V0. Yikes. Do not send a link to Steven. Steven, do not go looking at that printer. It is not the end game of Russian nesting doll printers. Yeah, that thing is awesome. I want that thing so bad. It just looks awesome. I want to do like as basic a setup, like as bulletproof of a setup as I can on the thing. And just have it over in the corner, and it's just always cranking out something. Because that is awesome. It is a conversation piece. If I ever had anybody come visit, which I don't, my daughter has to have a birthday, and I have to have a barbecue and cook everybody chicken in order to get anybody to come visit me. Although I bet you I could fill my garage tomorrow afternoon if I said I was making chicken. Yeah. Anytime I fire up the grill, people show up. No. No, sir. One, that printer is way too awesome to mess up with chicken. Two, I am not going to serve suboptimal chicken. Yeah, I know. I don't know where I'd ever find one, and I'm sure if I did, somebody would want way too much for it. What's up, daughter? I'm streaming.
What are you doing on your stream?
Not a whole heck of a lot, honestly. No, I'm not dyeing your hair at midnight. No, I'm not dyeing your hair at midnight.
It's not midnight. It's like 10:30.
Yeah.
That's not midnight.
We're not dyeing your hair. You're going to bed.
It's 10:30.
Yes, you have school in the morning, child
It takes
unit.
30 minutes to set.
I know how long it takes.
It'll be like 11.
No.
Tomorrow?
We'll talk about it tomorrow. If I do, it's going to be like right after we pick up your sister from school or something. Yeah, exactly. Most people that have one of those probably know what they have at this point. I know how damn cool it is. They probably bought it because it was so damn cool. The ginger additive can print 2 kilograms an hour. Woo, boy. Yeah, exactly. I love it, man. It's like that 50s vibe. I don't know. If I found one, it probably wouldn't be in that great a shape, and I think I'd kind of do like a Fallout vibe to it.
I just threw my ice cream at it.
Core 1 filament path is crap. What is the filament path on the Core 1? I saw one. I saw him at Murph. Bruce had him at Murph, but I didn't honestly pay that much attention. And Bruce has yet to send me one. Bruce, send me one. Send me, better yet, send me an XL. I'm doing the Mammoth Greg, and I would love to do the Lightning version of it. But I need a multi-tool head printer to do it. What's crap? The Core 1 or the XL? Or both? What are you talking about, Clown Hammer? Oh. Is it something that you can reroute? So they wouldn't have to ship it back. I don't know. I feel like they probably have like a kit or something that they're just kind of stashing over at Printed Solid that they just send from one place to another. What's up, Smalls?
Let's see what I did. Press play.
Say hi to everybody.
And then it's just like talking again.
That's cool. I need you to edit my videos for me.
Scared to post it.
Just post it. I know how nerve-wracking it can be, but
People are mean.
yeah, just ignore the ones that are.
Do I post it now or tomorrow?
Whenever you want. She's creating a YouTube channel. And she's nervous about her first video. They had to build it at Rocky Mountain. I can't remember if they had one at Murph or not. Oh. Dun, 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 dun,
And of
dun,
course-
dun, dun.
The two things that I use
Uh-huh.
are standard features. And you have to have premium on them.
Okay. I am trying to set this diffuser into this. Seems like that works. There you go. The first video will always be better than the one before it. This is true. There is nothing before it. Did my wire just break? No, not yet. This poor wire has been moved around so many times. It's only a matter of time before it breaks. Love you too, Smalls. Go to bed. No, not water. Wire. My water broke. I'd be a rich man. Luke, I didn't know you had a Discord stuff. Can you send me or post a link to your Discord over in my Discord? So, Breacher has a window for you to see in there and see if your shells are loaded. So, I took a measurement of where that is, and I'm printing all the shell in black ABS and doing a color swap right here to tell the difference between the different types of shells, so that I can look in that window and tell what I have loaded in the chamber, and I can look in the magazine because that's clear, and I can see what I have coming up. So I'm working on printing a bunch of shells. All right, JPP, have a good one. Yeah, unfortunately. We'll have to figure out another get-rich-quick scheme over here. Although that would be a get-rich-in-40 weeks scheme. Before I do this, I should probably put all the heat sets that need to go in here in it. I don't have my iPads up, so we'll just go over here and click on it. Go to our overhead, get some heat sets. I think it's thoroughly unfair that it decided to get back up into the 80s after being nice and cool for so long. Now the old lady's complaining she wants me to turn the air conditioner back on. I'm like, it dropped down into the 50s at night. You want me to shut up the house, run the air conditioner all day, every day, to avoid being hot for a couple hours during the day? It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Does to her, doesn't to me. Also, tomorrow we got to contact a lawyer. We just got the paperwork in saying she was denied for her disability. Which, as I understand it, everybody is at first. It was quite comical reading their reasoning on the paper, though. Yep, we're calling a lawyer tomorrow. We had talked to one before, and they were like, yeah, file everything. You're going to get denied. When you get the denial letter, call us back. It'll be real fun if the spinal surgeon, depending on what the spinal surgeon says, if we both have to go through dealing with the same shit at the same time with no income. I don't know how in the world we'd manage to survive that. I go to the spinal surgeon at the end of the month. Right after I get back from 3D Printopia. Oh crap. Two and a half years, yikes. Yeah. How in the world would I not lose my house? You know? That's not the issue, Down Under Maker. It's not the health insurance paying the bill. It's how in the world do I survive without being able to work while I wait for them to figure out that, you know, disability stuff. How do I pay my bills? How do I put food on the table? I am absolutely terrified about that and about just what life looks like, depending on what he says. I don't think, yep, see that wire broke. Not my water, the wire. Well, it's good that you guys have some sort of whatever. Unfortunately, I have no idea. Anyway, let's change the subject. Get something to drink here. These cups are really tiny. They don't hold very much. But they were like $1.28 for 50 of them. Versus the like $6 for 50 of the red Solo cups. So we went this route. Oh yeah, how's the wife's foot? I saw you posted up that she broke one ankle, or you were trying to figure out if she broke both, or yeah, it's massive, Steven. Makes your Desert Eagle look tiny, doesn't it? I am. I think I am. Shattered one and dislocated the other. Christ. I am so sorry, man. I think we all send our condolences. I broke my foot wrestling in high school. I know how much of a pain that was. Physically, like literally and metaphorically, pain. All right, let's take this over to the workbench. Put a little light on the subject. Get our soldering iron out. Get it heated up. Get some solder going. Wish I could pick up my breacher and move it, YouTube. No, I'm pretty sure that the Lee Murray 3D situation was one of the viewers on their stream. Because it makes no sense. I've done quite a few blaster builds recently, and like the crush looks just like an AR. Thank you, Luke. And I hadn't got hit. And I mean, you know, the breacher is pretty dark. Yeah, it's got some purple and some blue in it, but I'm pretty sure it was not YouTube's algorithm that hit them. I'm pretty sure it was a person. All right, we're just going to toss this NeoPixel. Which really kind of sucks, you know? I know you'd rather think it was, you know, the YouTube algorithm, AI or whatever like that, than one of your viewers. But I think part of it is that my channel's way smaller and YouTube is pushing it to way fewer people. They've got, I mean, their channel's grown quite a bit. In the last year, and YouTube pushes it to people, and somebody decided they wanted to be whatever about it, you know. All right, let's see. NeoPixels. I want one of these white ones because it's already programmed for them. The other ones have a different, whatchamacallit, like order for the lights. I know you can't see this, and I'm sorry. The old setup you could. And signal. Damn it. All right. Woo, that was hot. All right, this time I need to hold this wire in place a little bit longer. Oh my goodness, I need a decent set of third hands here. Need OmniFlexor to sponsor the channel. Some of the beautiful $80 helping hands. OmniFlexor, if you're watching, call me. I'll even move the solder setup so that you can see your helping hands on stream. All right, and we're back. What did I miss? Uh, yeah, if it was the AI, it would have grabbed both of them. Yeah, Jeremy and Kayla are both awesome people. Awesome people. Most of the people in this community are awesome people. I'd like to think that it wasn't one of our community that did it. I'd like to think that it was somebody that stumbled across the stream because they watched some other 3D printing content and, you know, they're either, I mean, it's a global thing. They're either in a part of the world where that is an issue, or they're, you know, here, or kid was watching it, mom walks in the room, what the hell are you watching? Report. What'd your kids get you for Father's Day down under, Maker? I saw that they were live, LTX, but I tried to watch one of the Big Tree Tech streams before, and it was... They try, but it ain't great. Oh, they got you the OmniFixo? Nice. My kids won't be buying me that for Father's Day. I know that because I'm not going to give them $80 to buy it for me for Father's Day. Hey, yeah, that's awesome, Martin. I'm not going to begrudge anybody that does that. Okay, so we got filament run out over here. So we need to eject this. I do like the eject button on this orbiter sensor. That is nice. All right, well, that does its thing. Let me go grab another roll of this. I'm glad I bought 4 rolls of this. I've already burned through 2 of them. It was a killer deal, this Anycubic gray filament. Like 28 bucks after tax, shipped for 4 kilograms of gray PLA. It ain't the best filament in the world, but it ain't terrible either. Yeah, it does. But for some reason, the filament, when I feed it down into it, doesn't actually, it gets caught going in. So I got to undo the PTFE tube and actually put it down into it. I'm not sure why. Nice. Yeah. If you take your time and tune it right, it's decent. I think so I did the motor mounts for the Z drives on the 2.4 on it, and that was 570 swaps. Took me 2 attempts to do it though. The first time didn't work. I tell you what though, I absolutely hated this orbiter extruder before I had the sensor on it. Loading and unloading it was such a pain in the butt. It seems like it's a necessity, and as such should just come with it. Are you done yet? Are you done now? Oops. All right. Now we got that swapped out. Yeah, like so. Yeah. Okay. There is a bypass. It is junk. Let me get one and show you. Let me show you what's wrong with this. Okay, so here's the AFC bypass. Okay, there's the bypass. This is your AFC lane. It goes straight across with no issue. All right, this is straight. Now the issue with the bypass side, you see there's a sensor in here, is it goes in and tries to make such a sharp turn from here, basically a 90 and then another 90 to get over to here. It's not, but it's such a tight radius, two tight radius bends that it doesn't work. Why on earth? And the problem is that sensor is in the middle of that pathway. If it was down here where it first goes in, where it's straight, you could just take and extend this out and change that, and like just by scaling it in the slicer, change it. But because it's smack dab in the middle of the thing, you got to kind of CAD a whole new one up. All right. There's no reason this needed to be this short. Make it twice as long. Put your filament sensor for the bypass right here where it goes in, and then make a nice gradual swoop up into that lane. Yeah, you want this one straight so that your box turtle has as little resistance as possible. But in order to get anything to feed through the bypass side, you're going to have to like feed it TPU or something. I wouldn't have done it Y-shaped down under maker. I would have left this straight so that you have nice, straight, easy, no resistance when you're trying to feed the box turtle in. And then but make the bypass a nice gradual swoop, not like two 90-degree turns because you wanted to make this super tiny. It's getting mounted on the back extrusion or on the side extrusion. Or just free floating. It doesn't even have to be mounted to anything. It just be free floating in there. It's the same thing with the hub. They're like 99% of the way there, but like their filament paths are crap. Yeah, exactly. That fourth channel on the hub was crap. They've got a beta coming. I want to see the internal geometry on that hub. Because the hub's one of the things they redesigned, which is weird because they said there was no problem with the hub. Why redesign it if there was no problem with it? I wouldn't be so angry if they didn't treat me like I was a bad guy. There's a couple people over there that are really great guys. There's some other ones that are not. But anyway, here's what I've done. As you can tell, I've taken the bypass off of mine. There's a virtual bypass switch. Okay. I just take where it comes, the PTFE tube that comes out of the expandy bit, the turtleneck. I just take that out, run the filament through there. If I need to run something separate, that just goes straight down into the printer, and I click the virtual bypass button. Yeah, off the buffer. Don't take it out the other side, because the other side, it like seats all the way in there, and that's how it like adjusts and stuff like that. Gotta be real careful you don't mess that up. I had it locked like full extended, so it thought that it was always like way full, and then it was underfeeding stuff, and that caused a disaster. And then it got pulled in a little bit, so it wouldn't click the other switch, and so be careful with that when you're messing with it. But yeah, just unhook your PTFE tube from the buffer and feed it down into it, and click the virtual bypass button. I don't know, Martin. At this moment, it looks like never, sir. Hey, also, in other news, we are at present, well, as of September 9th, we are 328 hours away from the first level of monetization, which gives you channel members, supers, engage with fans who share support through one-time like super chats, and shopping, share products across your channel from your own store. So like I could have my fourth wall stuff advertised, I guess. I noticed that none of that is money coming from YouTube's pocket. Funny how that is. Like, yeah, you get to this many hours, we'll let other people give you money, but we're not going to give you any of the money that we're earning off of your content. But an A1 is likely going to be my next purchase. I would really like to maybe find someone that's got an A1 with the AMS light that's trying to sell it to get money to upgrade to, you know, whatever. So I could get one at a marked down price. Not that I don't think it's worth the money. It's just, it's not something that right now I'm going to come up with the money for. I'm still 3D Printopia is still like one of those things that I don't know how I'm paying for. LTX, the reason why an A1 and not a Centauri Carbon is what I want. Okay, so what I want and what I need are two different things. Most of my multicolor printing is done in PLA. If I'm doing multicolor printing in ABS, ASA kind of stuff, it's very few filament swaps, and that I can manage on the Box Turtle or the Enraged Rabbit carrot feeders. So lowest point of entry, and also as I understand it, the AMS Lite is actually the most reliable of all the AMSs. So it's a win-win there. It's much cheaper, lower cost of entry, same bed size until you get to the H2D. what I want is an H2D. Who's Stephen Poole? Yikes. What's wrong with it? A different Steven, I think. The only new store-bought printer I ever bought was my very first one. It was an Under 3 Pro, which 3 weeks later got replaced. Well, not replaced, but got a partner of a 350 2.4. And honestly, until recently, I had no desire to get a store-bought printer. Nah. Well, if you know them, send them my way. Maybe we can reach an agreement. And if not, no hard feelings. Always has jams right past the 4-way hub on the tool head. Filament melts into a ball at the tip, and the hub needs to be removed to cut it and clear it. Is the cutter blade on that maybe wearing out or something? Every once in a while, you have to replace the blades. I've had to replace the blade once in the switch wire. All right, so here's the silly shells for the Elite 3-way. Now it's got the orange band around it. Now I'm gonna do Megas next, Mega XLs, and I'm gonna put a I think a green band around them maybe. So they'll all be these black, but with, oh, and also this is UV reactive, the color. So I can take UV flashlight and try to help find the stupid things. Yeah, I understand, but what I'm saying is if it's not fully cutting the filament and then it's pulling it back, and what you've got on the end, that ball, is where the filament was melted in the hot end and ripped back out because it never cut it. Hey, I tried to get Micro Center to sell me their broken X1. They wouldn't sell it to me because they said it was broken and could not be repaired. I asked them what was wrong with it. They said they didn't know. When it goes to print, it doesn't print right. I said, I'll give you $100 for it. The manager comes over and goes, no, He goes, we couldn't sell it to you because we couldn't. I'm like, I'm not going to bring it back to you. I promise you, I will give you $100 and you will never see this printer again. I will not bring it back to you. No warranties. You don't even need to give me a goddamn receipt. $7.99 now. That's not with an AMS though. If it doesn't have an AMS, I'm not interested in it. The only reason I would buy an off-the-shelf printer is for a printer with an AMS, because I've got plenty of printers that print the materials that I would print in an X1 just fine. All right, Clown Hammer, get some rest, sir. We're not doing anything really important. This is just hanging out, chatting. Yeah. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I felt bad for that manager, man. So I was in there another time, and this guy's in there arguing with this manager. He's got a computer. He bought a graphics card, put the graphics card in his computer, and his computer's not working. And he wanted them to like look at his system and figure out why it's not working. And they're like, sure, you know, it's an $80 fee. That'll get applied towards anything that you may need to buy to fix it, but it's going to cost you $80 for us to look at it, right? If we find that the graphics card was no good, then we'll replace the graphics card. We'll refund you the $80 and you can go on about your life. But if we find that the graphics card was damaged by you, then we'll take the $80 and apply it towards whatever you're going to buy. But we're not going to refund you for the graphics card that you damaged. And this guy was sitting there arguing with this dude. He's like, I didn't damage it. I know I didn't damage it. I'm not giving you $80 to look at it. He goes, okay. He goes, well, then your options are this. He's like, you can leave the GPU with us and we'll investigate it. And if we find that the GPU is not defective, we're not going to take it back. If we find that it was, we'll swap it out for you. He goes, yeah, but then I got to install it. He goes, yeah, you installed this one. What's the problem? Clearly, this guy had damaged it. And he's like, yeah, why can't I just return it at this point then? He goes, well, because you told me it doesn't work. And you installed it. It's in the machine currently. He's like, if you had just put it back in the box, walked in here and said, I want to return this, nobody would have asked anything. He goes, but you came in here telling us that it's broken and you might have broken it. What do you want me to do about this now? I felt so bad for that manager in that situation. Meanwhile, I'm standing next to a P1 S, the one that's enclosed. And it's failing all over the fucking place. So I hit the button and cancel it. And the manager is staring at me rather than looking at this guy so he doesn't punch him. And sees me like cancel this print. He's like looking at me sideways. I like opened the door, pointed towards the thing. I was like, no good. And he goes, ah. But yeah, that was a fun story for me to tell anyway. I don't know whether it's fun for you to listen to, but you listened to it anyway, or you didn't. I don't know. Maybe you left. Maybe you turned me off. Maybe you turned the volume down. All right, let's put the LED back into the LED holder. Yeah, I don't know. It depends on what stores you go to. All right, now tuck these wires down into their new home. Guitar grill that has gone in so many different faceplates. Try not to break this thing. This thing is... I hate the ant head tool head. I hate it. It doesn't help that I'm printing it with fragile filaments to begin with. All right, there we go. That's in. Now we gotta try to get this fan in here. Tired of doing the same thing over and over again. It's getting really old. All right, now tuck this wire up in there. There you go. Yeah, Down Undermaker has a core one. I just had some beta gear delivered. I bought this, I would return it immediately. Listen, some of these 3D printer companies, boy, can't 3D print to save their fucking life. Down Undermaker can tell you a whole lot of ways that the core one doesn't work. All right. There's that. Find the flathead screws. It's awfully dark in here. Oh yes, let's turn off our light because we are in the after hours. Dad's garage after hours. This after hours stream really could use an after hours beverage. Okay, there it is. Oh, you gotta love it when your hands don't work. There's another flathead screw. What do we got here? Well, looks like the right length of screw. We need one a little longer than this. Oh, this is a 14. Let's get a 16. Wonder if a no, it's got a wider head. Which one? The one for next time or the one for this time, Steven? Polypropylene. All right, Luke. Have a good night's sleep. Good luck. Sounds like you're in for one hell of a week. This time. So Steven, tell her if you're looking at the park from the road, to the left is a baseball field and a little wooded area there next to the baseball field. We're going to try to play there. There's also frisbee golf course there, which one of the holes or nets or whatever they're called in frisbee golf is there. So we might have to like pause and let some frisbee golfers go or something, depending on. Hey, someone purchased Making It on the Spectrum and one other item. Thanks. Appreciate you. The fun part about that purchase is I'm pretty sure that got me to the point where I can actually have Fourth Wall send me the money that's sitting there from purchases. Because you got to get to a certain amount before they'll pay you out. That amount's $25, by the way. And I was just shy of that. What is going on over here? Yeah, I saw you said that, Down Under Maker. That's pretty awesome. So that's a couple bucks I can apply towards 3D Printopia. All right, let's see. Get my flashlight back out of my pocket. Oh. All right, so this looks like it's the right thingamabob. Doohickey. That's a nice use for the money. I tell you what, I'm a firm believer that At this point, no printer should come with a brass nozzle anymore. The default should be at least a hardened steel nozzle. At least. Let's get this back on. Preferably, I think every printer should come with something better than that. 3D&T Printing, how's it going? Dave, Terry, whichever one you happen to be, both of you. Hello, welcome. How is it that this camera does better when there's no freaking lights on than when all the lights are on out here? All right, let's see. Let's get our cooling fans. This looks like the right way to go. Well, that one's for the cartographer. All right. All right, there's some ducks. Yikon? Is that how you pronounce that? No, I don't think it's a strobing thing. I think it's just a cheap Logitech webcam. Hey, I saw Walmart has an ONN brand now. It's a 4K webcam for 30 bucks. I'm really tempted to pick it up and see how that goes. Icon, okay. Welcome to the stream, man. Good to have you. All right, now, before I put this spring in here, is this going to go in? Yes. This doesn't want to screw in there. Oh, gotta get the other flashlight. Honestly, I don't know why I don't have this in my pocket instead of the stream light. Goodness gracious. Six-year-old cranked that one on. I need an electric screwdriver. So here's the situation I've got with electric screwdrivers. I have this. This is a little 4-volt Bauer one. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it does not. That wobbles very much. It's not the bit. It's not even the shaft on the outside. It's that this wasn't cut right. I mean, it's Harbor Freight. Yeah, it's not concentric at all. And I make do with it because I don't have much money for tools at the moment. I don't have any money for tools at the moment. But if you're not familiar, I'm currently out of work on short-term disability, waiting on trying to figure out from the spinal surgeon whether or not they're going to end up fusing the base of my skull and all the vertebrae in my neck together, and cutting out the back of the vertebrae to allow room for the spinal cord so that my vertebrae stop pinching my spinal cord. Anyway, it's not that. It's the part where the bit goes into wasn't cut in the center. It's cut off center. So there's nothing I can do about it. But I want a screwdriver of like that power. And then I also want one of the little ones. It's less powerful, but you know, for not over torquing things. But that for stuff that's got to run in far and deep. Something with more power for when you need more penetration. You know what I'm talking about? All right, let's get another battery. Where did I put the flashlight? There's the flashlight. What's going on here? There we go. All right. Let's do some investigating here. All right. I think this flashlight's just seen better days. My daughter's been running around with it, throwing it at stuff, dropping it on stuff. I don't have another long screw in there. Don't have one in there either. Interesting. I don't have any long M2.5 screws. Yikes. That sucks, man. All right, clean that out. Now she screws in. There's just some gunk in there. But it still doesn't want to go in there. I just broke something. What did I break? Fuck, I don't know. I know what I broke that time. But at this moment, I don't care. There's that. If I ever put the whatchamacallit on there, we're gonna have to figure out something else here. Better spring or something. Shave something down. I don't know. That ain't gonna work. Oh, you can't see what I was doing. Woo! This thing is hot. That should not be hot like that. Okay. Can y'all see that? How black that is? Down in there? Let me show you another one of what it should look like. It was just this color. Copper. How the fuck does it get that hot off of a battery to scorch copper? I wasn't lying about how hot it was. Burnt the shit out of my hand. Not like hot like a light. It's an LED. It doesn't get that hot. Battery's still hot as shit. Just wanted a yogurt? Nice. Alright, so this flashlight's going in the trash. I have no idea what was going on with that. But yeah, I use these flashlights a lot. I order them all the time from Olight when they've got like them on flash sales all the time on their website. Trying to get you to buy other stuff, like $5 for one of those things. And we use them at work too. So I know how hot they can and can't get, and I've used them for hours. and they don't get hot. That's a new one. All right. So now what's left on the to get it back up and running? I got to get the cartographer mounted. Got to zip tie up some wires. Assuming you plug in here, but I don't know for sure, so I'm gonna have to. No, this is 5. You gotta plug in all the way over here. All right. Gotta get a cartographer mount put on there. And we got to get these wires terminated differently for the thermistor and then for the hot end. And then, fingers crossed, the microns should be back together. Stream Elements, you're just blowing up the chat. How are you number 3 in chat, Stream Elements? Martin, how'd you let Stream Elements overtake you in chat? You thought it was resin from a crack pipe. No. Don't get me wrong, I've made my fair share of bad decisions in life. I haven't made that bad decision. All right, let's clean some crap up. Oh, also, I destroyed the smooth side of the PEI bed on the switch wire this week. Now you're number 1. Awesome. Yeah, I printed one of these. This one, in fact. It mounts underneath the workbench and then the drawer slide into it. In fact, you can see a piece of the PI still stuck to it. And for some reason, as you can see, it was printing way too close to the bed. And it just would not come off. All the Frank's goo I had on there had worn off, so there was no release agent or anything. So there was not a whole lot I could do. I tried to get it off, but it ripped and destroyed that PEI so bad. I've never seen anything like that. Fortunately, the other side is textured, so I still have a bed for it, but I definitely need to get build sheets. I need to get one for the other switch wire we're building too. I need to stop printing all these fun toys and finish up these drawers. It says silly shells, but it's showing the grips for the 31K Fallout Edition. Martin, did you get your 31K going? Your elk? Copilot Ace to ABS? Yeah. I don't think it is that, because I've printed a crap ton of this. It's Polymaker black ABS. It's all of this 5 kilogram spool. So I've made my way through a lot of it. Like I said, it's just way too close to the bed for some reason. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot. I saw that. I was walking into Walmart when I saw that post. All right, so we're gonna run another round of these silly shells. Tomorrow we will run some of the Mega XLs. You giving away filament over there down under, Maker? Did you get a filament sponsor? I wish I could get a filament sponsor, give you guys some filament. Even if they weren't giving me any filament, I wouldn't even care. It'd just be nice to be able to give you guys something. I don't know. I'm sure it would help the analytics too. Oh, that's right. One drawer open at a time. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to put stuff away though, Steven. Dun, dun. Spent a lot of time today playing Jenga. The 6-year-old decided she was going to up the difficulty level by pulling 2 bricks every turn and then pulling 3 bricks every turn. That was quite interesting. All right, this goes back there. Okay. Coffee mug. That's trash. That's a scar I've got to build. Are you serious, Down Under Maker? Yeah. It just normally they rewrite the rules in a way that like benefits them. But she was like, no, you pull one and I'm going to pull three. Mad woman, I tell you. Then we played Sorry, and it came down to who could draw a number 1 card first for one move. We both had our last guy 1 space from the finish. Oh. Put all this in here. La-ti-ti. She did actually win quite a few of those games of Sorry. I mean, not Sorry, Jenga. And she was even like shaking the table on her turn. Still winning. Yeah, Down Under Maker, some people are just crappy human beings. Nobody ever told him you don't look a gift horse in the mouth, I guess. So, I've always been one of... I forgot the PTFE tube. It goes down into the hot end. It needs a longer one, but I forgot about it. I gotta take that all apart. Ugh. Maybe that was their strategy that I didn't know about. All right. You guys want to build a scar? I've never built one before. I don't feel like ripping this hot end back apart to put a piece of PTFE tube in it right now. So I'm not gonna. All right. So this is an adjustable scar by Chance. Let's see if I can find the link for it. No, this isn't. This. Poke string the hole in the tip and branch out. Okay. I have now read the instructions. All right, so we need to take this and this. All right. Your X-Acto knife. And then you want for this 10-pound test monofilament fishing line. Interesting. It's the first time I've ever bought fishing line in my life, despite the fact that I lived very close to the shore. All right. All right, we're going to pull a fair amount through there. Then we're going to take this little doodad. We're going to take and hook this. Let's pull this like this. There we go. Yeah. There's like dents in it where it was originally tied around there. Gotta get past those. Alright, then we push this down through. Pull this out the end. And then we're gonna hook this around. Yikes. Nope. This is a pain in the butt. All right, man. Have a good one. Martin, Phil, have a good one, guys. Okay. Get out of the way. All right, now let me give that a cut. And tie these off together. Okay. I think it'll get a little bit easier because it won't require you to kind of hold the two printed parts together after this. All right. One done. 5 more to go. Wow. That is something else. Oh. We're gonna do the one opposite. Okay. Okay. Let's cut this string. Tie that off. Once more around for good measure. Okay. I guess the idea with this is you can kind of adjust your twist on your rifling. And put it together. Just pull the end of this out, twist it, and you can adjust the twist. Oh. No, no. I have this around the wrong one. All right, there we go. Lots of little scraps of fishing line that I'm gonna have to find later. Once more for good measure. All right. It's 3 of the 6 done. That's halfway. Have a good one, Collie. I'm gonna call it here. I'll mess with this stuff tomorrow. Also, I'm gonna have to figure out a way to keep this stuff from unwinding itself. That's gonna be real fun. Anyway, have a good one. Thanks for joining me, all. Yeah, fishing line. A lot of people argue that it's better than the bearing ones, the B cars. So I'm giving it a go for the Falx blaster. Yeah. So that's my logic on that. I've got a B car on the Crush. The 31Ks have B cars on them. Yeah. Anyway, thanks for joining me, y'all. If you're still here, don't forget to hit the like button. Subscribe if you're not. Links for ways to help the channel are in the description. You can join the Discord. There is a paid membership version of the Discord, kind of like being a member of Patreon. There's a Patreon link down there as well. Links to merch. There's a affiliate link for Polymaker. So if you're ordering some filament and you remember, use my affiliate link or use somebody's affiliate link. It's hard to remember. I'm bad about it. Yeah, I don't know what to do about that. I'm just bad about it. I should probably like make another Polymaker, another like Shopify account, use that one to buy my Polymaker so I get a kickback on it. I would forget to do that too. Anyway, that is that. We'll be back tomorrow doing, I don't know what. Maybe we'll build that other 31K. Maybe tomorrow afternoon we'll do the Discord thing. Try that out. I'll do some tests on it during the day and get it figured out and go from there. But have a good night. Later, Steven. Later, everybody that's left in chat.